stream. Um, this is bonus episode 2. Now I know what you're probably thinking. Why are you making another bonus episode right after the other one? Um, I was sick all week, so I couldn't. Well, I probably could have, but I didn't really get to um, doing all of the um, writing stuff for my next chapter or next part of chapter 1. Let me be honest, I really wish that this could be over cuz I want to talk about more of my games, but I'm going to sit down and uh, do as much on this as I can before I move on. You know, I'm not going to just give up halfway through. So let's see. I have made some aesthetic changes. For instance, this one has tinted glass instead of the main core being kind of hollow. Um, you'll notice I have glass in front of these. That's because, as you can see, um, all the bats are flying around, so it isn't paused just because I didn't want to continuously keep it paused, even though it would probably have been easier. But yeah, I don't think there's anything different with these. So this one was my original thing. I didn't have the gold blocks or the crying obsidian. I don't even know if I had the straight up obsidian, but I rebuilt it, and there's a lot of candles, as you can see. Also, I think it may be upside down. Yeah, it's upside down. Oh well. Um. So yeah, basically, yeah. These are the three main branches of the cultist class. Necromancy as a skeletal hand. Hope you can see that. Then there's demonic, the seven branches, the seven deadly sins. And then this is supposed to represent needles. There's uh, normal needle, good needle, excellent quality. And then every time it repeats, we add another normal needle, and then every times it repeats, we add another good quality needle. And then we continue this for all of infinity. If you get a duplicate, it gets leveled up until, well, you can't get any more duplicates. That's usually how that works. But yeah, this is. The candles are supposed to represent the stat bonuses and stuff. They aren't abilities, but they are things you can gain. Or, you know what, maybe they'll become abilities, but they're basically, oh, I leveled up. I can, um, I was actually really proud of this. Say I level up. Where's the thing? Tools and utilities. It's probably here. There we go. Yeah. Say I level up. Alright, I'm going to go into Gluttony because it gives no cooldowns on consumables. However, both positive and negative effects are doubled. Alright, I unlock that. Boom. Now, if I level up again, I can light this and then that. And then I can keep going. Oh. Oops, I need to be more careful. And then color blocks. I need the white candle, and then what are they? The gray? Yeah, these look gray. But yeah, that was my idea for that. Um, still oh well. Then this is the necromancy. It is the simplest. You start with getting this red carpet. The red carpets symbolize abilities. The yellow carpets are just, stat points and stuff that you can gain from leveling up. Um, and then the orange carpets are just there to differentiate between the two. Uh, Raise the dead as free labor, yeah. And then over here, beast necromancy, so that you can resurrect animals instead of just humans. Then Swarm of the Dead increases the capacity of how many. For this black carpet, you must take both paths to unlock it. And then you get necrotic damage once you reach the palm. Once you get the thumb, you get the behemoth skeleton. Much larger beasts. You can get much larger beasts. It's pretty much a level up of the beast summoning. And then, alright, so let's see. Higher intelligence undead for wizards and liches. However, really all this means is that they're more efficient on their tasks. Unless you get this. Give undead classes of their own. Normally, undead can only get the assassin class. However, this allows them, due to their higher intelligence, to become undead wizards and liches. You can also get zombies, give your undead flesh, but they also are hungry. Basically, normal skeletons are free labor in the form of they don't need to eat. However, zombies do need to eat. I hope my voice isn't too bad. And then merge undead into bigger forms. This basically means that you can take like 3 normal skeletons and turn them into one skeleton horseman. You can merge them into different creatures. And that's the cultist faction. Now, the thing is, once you select one of these, you're locked out of the others until you reach a certain extent. For instance, this may be the simplest, but you have to fully max it out, get all 5 fingers, maybe unlock the special thing if there's that. I don't know yet. I don't know what that would be. And then this, it shows you the pattern on which the needles go. You basically have to get 5 excellent quality needles, and then you can go back over to these. So, what I'd recommend, I think, would be necromancy first for the free labor, which would be very good early game. Then curses to power yourself up, because demonic, while it's the most powerful, it also just has the most stuff to do. So, if you get into this, you probably won't be able to get into the other 2 for a while. Then I also got the Holy Army faction stuff, and got excuse me, and got fleshed it out more, I think is a good way of saying it. Believer, no class. You're simply a person who believes in God, but not really devoting your life to Him. Then you're part of the church. Maybe you're, I don't know, an assistant to a priest or an assistant to an assistant, but this is usually for children who are part of the church, because as soon as you're baptized, that is when you gain access to all your stuff. Every lifetime, you die, everything, like I said before, you die, and then you're resurrected as a child. However, you do not get your holy armaments and everything until you're baptized again. But when you're baptized the first time, you choose hunter, priest, or paladin. Eventually, once you max them all out, you get to choose once you max out one of them, you get to choose another. But yeah. Then you get High Hunter, High Priest, and High Paladin, and which is just the better version of the class once you become an expert in it and stuff. Then after that, you're supposed to basically have a cult and have that cult worship you, and then you can become a demigod. For instance, the hunter becomes the demigod of speed, the priest becomes the demigod of life, the paladin becomes the demigod of protection. Basically, it cancels out all dark magic effects on um, your teammates. It's very good. And then here are just some classes that I have for the kingdom's place, like the Great Shielder, high defense. I'm really happy with using the door as a shield. Let's see, because it looks similar in my opinion. So I was really happy doing that. Then there's the Porter, who's the best support in the game. However, at the same time, he's useless in combat as he has no combat skills. One moment. One moment. Can I just time? No. Oh well. But yeah, they gain so many support abilities, like you can throw potions to apply potion effects at range, and you get low level alchemy that can be used on the road. You have a lot of, ability to travel and carry a lot more stuff than any other class. So they are just, so while you might think, oh, it's a porter, it's not going to be that helpful, you are wrong. And I really liked that idea. Um, Wizard, Great Mage. Oh, yeah. Great Magic. But yeah. They're actually a better support in terms of just raw stuff they do than the holy people who specialize in supporting each other. But yeah, his drawback is that he has like no attacking. Oh, what are you talking about? I didn't expect to. Basically, I am creating a game concept. One moment. I didn't expect to see anyone. Your own game. Yes, I am the person who made the concept, but it's kind of in the style of like an MMORPG. I'm pretty sure that's the right term. Think RuneScapes or WoW. It's kind of like those games, which I currently cannot make something like that. But yeah, I was discussing some of the classes because I was sick this week, and so I couldn't do the next part of the chapter, which was explaining something about player. One moment. It was explaining about how players interact in the world, but yeah. After the wizard who has great magic, there's assassins with high speed, which is kind of self-explanatory. Then there's the alchemist, which is the first of the three non-adventurer groups, which is totally a thing because, not all classes or jobs are specialized in like adventuring and stuff. The alchemist has like an alchemy lab that's hard to transport around, and everything. Um, he has a bunch of books filled with recipes and stuff. So it isn't very efficient to do that stuff. Then there's the fisherman. While he's can theoretically be an adventurer, he's going to be very bad at it. Lumberjack, yeah, pretty self-explanatory. I really liked the tree I did. Um, but yeah. Any questions while you're here? Did he already leave? Hmm. Oh well. So yeah. Sorry again for, being sick this week. My mom, oh, well, I dislike at MMOs, the end game, since it's very heavily dependent on group play. There is actually a class over here, the cultist faction. They're not actually a faction, since in the lore of the game, dark magic decreases feelings of empathy and comradeship, whereas light magic increases those things as well as faith. Thus, light magic is basically brainwashing magic in high stages, and the cultist faction basically, while they're solo, they have an army of underlings, and they're basically the final boss in most story driven games, which can make for fun scenes. However, um, for instance, Pride, you can only be in a party if you are the leader, which basically means that any high ranking cultists are basically not allowed to join forces. And then it gives plus 50 to physical stats, which is pretty nice since humans usually have a 10 in all stats. But yeah. Then this represents the seven deadly sins. For instance, gluttony. It nullifies the cooldowns on consumables, basically allowing you to spam consumables to upgrade your damage and regenerate mana to go and use high level spells more often, as well as positive and negative effects are doubled, which eventually negative effects turn into positive effects as you get higher into it. But yeah, when you're just starting out, that can be detrimental. Then there's necromancy, and then if you're wondering what this is supposed to be, it's supposed to be voodoo. Um yeah, it's a bit weird, but if you want I can explain it again. Uh then here is the um cross that basically very briefly explains the holy classes. There's the believer who, well, believes in God, doesn't actually have a class because what's your in-game designs? Dungeons, raids. So there is, well, mostly it's events, and in the late stages of the game, there are going to be raid bosses, which basically the whole world has to come together in order to defeat them. Because while most people will have like millions of health at the very most, if they specialize in that stat, raid bosses have like the trillions. So they are very powerful. Um, world spawn bosses or time gate dungeon events. Time gated dungeon events. Um, It's more so one event, but players, if they, let in all honesty, mess up, then they can accidentally summon one. Though it's pretty hard to do that, so it's probably going to be on purpose. But yeah, they're more like event bosses, but they don't have a specific time for the event to take place. Interesting. Yeah, this is the monk faction. There are the four disciplines, then the true immortal, which takes a couple lifetimes in game. One of the interesting experimental mechanics of the game is that your character's lifespan is about a week. And if you die in the game, you don't just respawn, you have to restart from a child, which during your childhood, depending on um, what class you are, you have the ability to cultivate. Like, if you're a monk, you can cultivate while you're still a child. If you're part of the uh, human empire, you can, start training your body physically as well as magic. If you're the demons, you do you. If you're part of the Holy Army, you need to wait until you're baptized to regain all your holy power. But yeah, it's more of an experimental game with a bunch of interesting mechanics thrown together in hopes that um we can have the we can bring out the best in the good things and maybe undo the bad things. Don't worry about this. This is just those were part of the world before I, just used it for all of the dioramas and stuff. But yeah. So do you have any more questions? Any name yet for the game? The cost of power. Ba- Basically, it's the question that does have an answer in the game's lore. Basically, it is equal sacrifice. Because, for instance, the monks, they are the slowest growing faction that really suck at AoE. The only decent amount of AoE is from the fire specialists that utilize basically a kamikaze technique. They surround themselves in phoenix flame as they die, regenerating themselves once per life, and it can't be used again for the rest of the life, which is the only decent AoE they have. But they're very, very good at single target DPS because they can utilize stunning attacks. Basically, they're think of them as comboing in Street Fighter. Um, then let's see. But base have a sub gonna follow your progress. Thank you. Um, Mr. Summerlock, is that right? basically, yee, okay. Basically, I'm just talking about really interesting game concepts over here. Um, I am thinking of trying to make a game company eventually with these concepts, but currently they're too big for a game company that doesn't exist. So I'm going to try and make some smaller projects if I have to make another bonus episode. But yeah, uh, what do you want to talk about next? Going to go to bed. It's late here. Uh, yeah, was fun. Thank you for stopping by, and also, um, Twitch doesn't like me having videos for more than a week, so I export them to YouTube. You can see my old content before I started Twisted Toy Box or my older videos on the cost of power over there. One moment. Let me see. It is Twisted Toy Box Studios on YouTube. But thank you for stopping by, Summerlock, and I hope to see you again uh, next week. Hopefully. No pressure, good luck. Thank you.